Okay.
Hello there.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
What is your name?
Amanda.
Amanda, thank you for being here today. How did you hear about the Dear Someone project?
I actually was contacted by a friend, and being a reading teacher, they were like, hey, you could probably do this. And I looked at the trailer, and it just spoke to my husband and I for us being advocates and spokespeople and trying to do whatever we can to stop human trafficking. We're both foster parents, so trying to give them a safe place, make sure that doesn't happen to them too. So this was kind of falling on our walk.
Well, thank you for watching the trailer for last season. Definitely was a human trafficking. This
Mhm.
season is a whole different topic. And because of that,
Mhm.
we have new letters, new journeys that we want people to share. We have a letter to your right hand side inside that yellow envelope.
Okay.
If you could please open it and read it to the camera.
Dear someone, my husband and I were fighting again when he got so frustrated with me that he pushed me down and turned to walk away. I was furious that he pushed me, and out of a reflex, I threw the closest thing I could grab, a book. It hit him on the back of the head. Suddenly, we were both shocked that our fights had escalated to a physical realm. Whew. We never thought that we would get to this place. He left the house saying, I want a divorce. I'm sorry. Whew. Marrying you was the worst decision of my life. When he slammed the door on the way out, I fell into a puddle of tears on the floor. Pretty quickly, though, I started to feel angry and then relieved. I realized that I was done too. I actually agreed that we didn't belong together. We fought almost every day. The kids were anxious and insecure, and I was depressed. I went to a friend's house to spend the night and stayed there for several days before venturing back home. When I returned home, he was there, and we were both calm enough to talk. We agreed that we should move toward divorce, but also agreed to try therapy first. He gave me the task of finding a counselor, and I knew we were already doomed because he would blame me for whoever we chose. I found one anyway, just to prove that I had tried, and we went. The therapist patiently listened while we both took turns complaining and blaming each other. We got pretty heated in the room. My husband threatened to leave in the middle of the session several times. I was amazed that the therapist could keep us in the conversation at all. After the first session, we both felt it was hopeless. But the therapist asked us to commit to 4 sessions before quitting. He said, how much time and money did you spend planning your wedding? Isn't it worth some effort and money before getting a divorce? He was right, and we went back just to say that we had tried before we filed the divorce. We also each wanted to prove that we were in the right. It was a very stressful couple of months. To make a long story short, we were still together 4 years later. Counseling was hard, but through it, we began to listen to each other. We learned how to fight fair and how to stay on target without attacking each other. We started to see all the ways we tore each other down on a daily basis with our anger. We were competitive and critical of each other. We slowly learned ways to build each other up instead. It's amazing how, by giving and loving first, you actually receive what you want. I changed from demanding that my husband love me better to being safe, to being around, and easier to love. We changed from being shut down and taking care of himself to engaging with the family and really talking to me. We don't have a super great marriage yet, but we're working on it. The kids are much happier, and we can see a future for ourselves and for them. It's hard to tell people how bad things can get inside the walls of your house. I don't want people to ever know, but maybe if we all knew more about what really happens in people's homes, we will be more encouraged that there is hope and be more likely to help. Sincerely, someone. P.S. Will you be my voice? Ooh.
What's crossing your mind right now?
Imagining that moment in someone's marriage, my own marriage. I could even feel it. Just to think that, to be so mad and that you want to throw something to someone that you committed your life to, you made a promise to love to, and that you just you threw something that could have ended everything. And to hear those words from your husband, to have read that, it's unimaginable. Just everything hit me. I thought about it, if my husband ever said that to me, I would die. I would be crumbled exactly like that.
If this person was here in front of you, what would you like to tell her?
Her and her husband are strong. I'm so happy for them that they went to therapy, and I love what the therapist had said. How much money did you put into your wedding? Shouldn't you put that amount of time before you take that next step? I'm so happy that they did, for them, for their kids, to keep the family whole. I grew up in a single parent home, and to have my parents still together, oh my gosh, how much easier it would have been. I'm so happy for them, and I hope that they just keep on continuing with that. Even going to therapy still. I think it's good to have those check-ins. It's really good and healthy.
So you said you're fostering children.
Yes.
Obviously, their parents must have had some hard times as well.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you'd like to share from, not particularly their stories, but maybe something that you can tell the public about their experience?
Being a foster kid is hard because they've been teared away from their family. It could have been they were in a single parent's home, and their mom or their dad just couldn't do everything that was required. And so they had to be in a safer situation. Even domestic violence, the throwing a book. If it would have escalated, I know children in the system who've witnessed that, and they were the ones that called for help, and not realizing that what would have happened, what did happen. And so for them to have to deal with that, I mean, it's so important, and they can't do it alone. They go to therapy a lot. And it helps them, but it takes time. It has to take time. Hi, my name is Amanda, and I will be your voice. Okay, thanks. Guess this is gonna make me cry again. I told you I was gonna cry a lot.
I appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to your allow you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Sorry, my tears are on.
No.